See you at 6.
On World News Tonight this Friday, it has been decided. The president's testimony before the grand jury will be made public, so will Monica Lewinsky's, and it is going to be pretty graphic. On the state of the nation, mortgage rates and gas prices are plummeting all over the country. And what it was that Henry Ford gave America, along with the Model T.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. Yesterday it was nasty in Washington. Today it was almost poisonous. The Republicans had their way. And the public is going to see all the president's testimony to the grand jury and most of Monica Lewinsky's sometime on Monday. That is 4 hours of tape and 2,800 pages. In the House Judiciary Committee, where it was decided, it was absolute party line. First of all, here's ABC's Linda Douglas.
Democrats came out of the Judiciary Committee meeting and said so much for bipartisanship.
We got rolled, but we're still fighting.
The Republican majority, in my opinion, appears intent not on an impartial inquiry, but on bringing about maximum feasible embarrassment for the president.
Democrats saw a rare opening to put the Republicans on the defensive today. Although both sides agreed to edit out 155 sections from the Starr material, Democrats wanted to cut out 30 other passages from Monica Lewinsky's testimony, additional details about her sexual encounters with the president. Republicans said no.
If someone doesn't want to watch this, then don't watch it. We have the responsibility to move this into the public domain and give the President of the United States the benefit of the doubt.
Republicans tried to downplay the disputes because they fear the public will begin to see them as a partisan lynch mob chasing after the president. That is exactly what the Democrats hope voters will think.
This has become an effort that has been, in fact, now engineered by the right wing of the Republican Party to take over the impeachment process.
I may have a different definition of bipartisanship, but it is not. It doesn't include surrender to everything the Democrats want.
We got along fine. I don't deny that it was civil. We're very civil. It was very civil and very partisan.
In fact, a majority of both parties in the House voted to release all of Starr's evidence, except parts found to be not relevant. Some Republicans charge the Judiciary Democrats are the ones playing partisan games, trying to protect the president.
I don't know what they're afraid of. Are they afraid of the truth? The American people deserve and have the right to know the truth.
Now, the Judiciary Committee is notoriously partisan here in the House. Fierce liberals on one side, outspoken conservatives on the other side, few in between. And Peter, if today was a sign of things to come, this could be a very long and bitter process.
Thanks, Linda. Linda Douglas on Capitol Hill tonight. The committee did not excise any part of the president's testimony, nor the prosecutor's detailed questions about his physical contact with Monica Lewinsky. They did fight over part of Miss Lewinsky's testimony. Here's ABC's Jackie Judd.
The committee argued bitterly over what to take out of Monica Lewinsky's testimony when she took prosecutors through all 10 sexual encounters that she claims to have had with the president. Committee sources say that some of the more salacious details that are not necessary to establish what was going on between Lewinsky and the president will not be made public. Even with those deletions, a committee Republican concedes the document will be very graphic. Sources say it will include not only the acts Lewinsky says she performed on the president, but also what he did to arouse her. That's critical because it goes directly to the question of whether Mr. Clinton committed perjury when he denied that he had sexual relations with Lewinsky. Republicans privately complained today that Democrats wanted to take out much more about the president's actions. Democrats complained that Republicans were so anxious to embarrass the president, they would not even agree to delete Lewinsky's accounts of phone sex, even though the two were not physically together and it would not go to the issue of perjury. The committee had no trouble in agreeing to delete information dealing with issues of security and privacy, things like witnesses' credit card numbers and how the White House telephone system operates. But what remains will leave absolutely no doubt about what Monica Lewinsky says went on in the Oval Office complex. Peter?
Thank you, Jackie. Jackie Judd in Washington. Later in the broadcast, we're going to take a closer look at how women particularly are reacting to Monica Lewinsky. When we come back, some of the other news today. Let the good times roll. Gas prices and home loans better than ever. And will it be gas or charcoal for the other great American pastime this weekend?
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Aflac.
Insuring over 40 million people worldwide.
For an enjoyable weekend, avoid things like alarm clocks. Instead, grab a big Grand Cinnamon Roll.
What better way to unwind than by enjoying a hot, fresh Grand Cinnamon Roll?
They're not just big, they're grands.
Are rich people taller than the rest of us? Are their loved ones more deserving of an airbag? Was the sun created solely for their enjoyment? Are we the only car company that doesn't think so? Century by Buick, full of amenities for under $20,000, loaded for under $24,000. Century by Buick, a luxury car for everyone.
After another week of ups and downs on Wall Street and people watching their money even more carefully perhaps than usual, there was some pretty good news about the economy today. Mortgage rates are at a 30-year low and gas prices are competing for equal attention. First on mortgages, ABC's Bob Jamieson.
Not since 1967, when the average price of an American home was $21,000, have mortgage rates been this low. The rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage has fallen to 6.66%, down almost a full percent from a year ago. That means payments on a $100,000 mortgage are $68 a month less than they were a year ago.
They need $57,000 altogether.
Nationwide, mortgage applications are up 80% from a year ago. More than half are for refinancing.
Business is up tremendously. We've never experienced business levels like this in retail mortgage banking.
Looking at homes in Marietta, Georgia today, Lon and Janet Shuford said they can now afford to spend $50,000 more than they originally planned.
Oh, it's going to be marvelous. It'll give us the opportunity to keep some of our cash reserves for other things.
The reason mortgage rates are falling is complicated. In the recent global turmoil, billions of dollars moved out of world stock markets and into U.S. Treasury securities. And mortgage rates are linked to the interest or yield the government pays on Treasury securities.
So a lot of investors have been putting money into U.S. Treasuries, which exerts downward pressure on Treasury yields, and mortgage rates follow Treasury yields downward.
And as mortgage rates have fallen, the real estate business has skyrocketed, with some predicting record home sales and housing construction this year. That is a boost to the entire economy. Bob Jamieson, ABC News, New York.
And another indication this week that gas prices will continue to go down. In fact, the market has changed so much that in some places they are selling gas to push fast food. Here's ABC's Steve Osunsami.
75 cents buys a gallon of regular unleaded in suburban Atlanta. And further into town, the prices aren't much higher.
They're excellent. They're excellent. I hope they'd hang on for a while.
Anything under $1 is good.
What's happening is that the financial crisis in Asia has forced those countries to cut their usual purchases. So now most of the oil-producing nations in the Middle East are too burdened with surplus to keep prices high. In Chicago, that means gas sells for $1.14 a gallon, 11 cents cheaper than this time last year. In Los Angeles, $1.09, 34 cents cheaper. And in Houston, it costs 97 cents a gallon, 22 cents less than it cost last September. What surprises analysts, however, is that the price of gas has fallen nearly twice as much as the price for the crude oil used to make it. Some say one explanation is that where Americans buy their gas is changing too. Gas pumps are now found alongside convenience stores, and some stations have gone into business with fast food franchises. Cheap gas has now become a loss leader, a way to lure customers in and get them to buy other products. And even major oil companies are following the trend.
Everybody is looking for additional means of income, and because today the marketplace is getting tighter.
The industry is already trying to stabilize prices by slowing down its refining. But even so, some analysts believe the market is so consumer-friendly, gas prices could still fall another 5 to 10 cents before Christmas. Steve Osunzami, ABC News, Atlanta.
On Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrials gained a little under 22 points to close at 78.95. On the NASDAQ, market stocks gained 17.5 points. The Food and Drug Administration has approved another drug for people with AIDS. It is called Sustiva, and it is an option for people who suffer serious side effects from protease inhibitors. Sustiva would still be part of a multi-drug regimen, but one of the advantages is a reduction in the number of pills that patients take every day, quite significant. On Capitol Hill today, the Senate failed to overturn President Clinton's veto of a bill banning some late-term abortions. Supporters of the bill fell 3 votes short. When we come back, 250,000 people stranded. What will the Clinton administration do about it?
When you qualify for benefits with Transamerica Long-Term Care Insurance, you can make yourself at home because you can still live at home. The people in the pyramid working for you.
Want to color your gray beard or mustache and look natural? Get Just for Men Gel.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
Brush in and in 5 minutes, gray is gone.
No one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
After his heart attack, Ed's doctor told him to exercise and take aspirin regularly. So he takes genuine Bayer aspirin to help prevent a second heart attack. Ask your doctor. But then there are those days when Ed's muscles ache and Ed could use extra strength Bayer. Nothing is stronger for everyday pain. If you're on an aspirin regimen, you don't need Tylenol because doctors say you can take more aspirin for pain.
How are your legs?
Great. Race you home. Bayer, powerful pain relief and so much more.
Enterprise? Hi, I'm at the repair shop. I need to rent a car.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up,
This is great.
drive you to our place, and get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Tonight, we had the perfect meal for us. The Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl. You pick any of their special pastas, and you get all the free refills you want, plus all the salad and breadsticks for $6.95. Good thing I was born hungry. The Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
News 2 Sky Blitz. It's one reason News 2's Prep Blitz is recognized as the leader in sports coverage. The Mid-South's best coverage of high school football just got better. Catch it all tonight on Prep Blitz on News 2 at 10.
With Transamerica Life Insurance and your estate plan, you can be sure your money will go where you want it to go. The people in the pyramid working for you.
Overseas today, people in trouble and people angry. In Iran, hundreds of thousands of people marched in the funeral procession for 6 Iranian diplomats killed by the Taliban forces in next-door Afghanistan last month. Tension between Iran and Afghanistan is now very high. Both countries have moved troops to their common border. There's a humanitarian disaster in the making overseas and a serious test for President Clinton. 275,000 people driven from their homes, living in the mountains with little to eat, where winter comes early and with a vengeance. We are talking this time about Kosovo in the former Yugoslavia. Mr. Clinton said this week that something must be done. He hasn't said what. ABC's Mike Lee is there.
By the tens of thousands, they've been on the run, clogging the narrow trails through Europe's most deadly territory. They are ethnic Albanians, terrified, confused, and bone-tired, grabbing what little they can as the Serb military storms through their farms and villages. There was no food to carry for my 1-year-old daughter, said this man. She was sick and could not keep up with us like the other children could, and there was no doctor. So she died. I buried her in a field. Other refugees are ill. They do not have enough water, food, medicine, or shelter. My mother may not survive much longer, said this woman. She's living in the open like a farm animal. Still, they strive for dignity. A new house of blankets hung from a tree. Someone even managed to lug a kitchen stove over a mountain pass. The Serbs have destroyed dozens of Albanian villages in their war against the Kosovo Liberation Army, the guerrilla group fighting for independence. They have created the largest refugee population in Europe. The Serbs, they say here, are getting away with ethnic cleansing, just like they did in Bosnia. And they add the West is doing what it did at the start of the Bosnian crisis. Very little. With no sign that U.S.-led NATO forces were about to intervene to stop the war here, almost every refugee asked the same question. What about the promises of Bush and Clinton to help us? And he adds, how many of us will have to die before there's a response? Mike Lee, ABC News, Kosovo.
The Pentagon does say it's considering a number of ways to get food to the refugees. Planes might be used to drop rations, for example, but no decisions have even been made about that yet. President Clinton has received the final report from his advisory panel on race. There's nothing earth-shaking here, although a new recommendation to keep affirmative action, perhaps with some changes, will be controversial. There's also a recommendation for a permanent national panel on race issues and for continued attention to matters such as police mistreatment of minorities. Here's an unusual one. In Cambridge, Massachusetts today, an honorary degree for Nelson Mandela. He received it from Harvard University. Mr. Mandela, president of South Africa, also won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. He is only the third person ever to receive a degree from Harvard that didn't go along with the commencement at Harvard. The other two people, George Washington and Winston Churchill. When we come back, how do women feel about Monica Lewinsky? We'll take a closer look.
Save some hot water. Too late! Honey, turn up the heat.
It is up.
Please let it be him. Please let it be him. Please let it be him.
The gas-fueled complete heat system from Lennox.
It's him.
Virtually unlimited hot water and comfortable home heating in one unit. And it runs on economical natural gas, so it's super efficient.
Yes!
The Lennox Complete Heat System. Not just heat, complete heat.
Yes. Clean natural gas. Think what you'll save.
Let them go. Let them play. Let them grow a little more each day.
Got kids? You got stains. Let them go with new Spray and Wash Advanced Stain Care.
Let them go with new Spray and Wash.
Hey, you want a green light to eat like never before? I do. Healthy Choice has a whole menu of unbelievably delicious dishes, incredible meals. New chicken stir fry with a crispy fried egg roll. Big hearty handful stuffed end to end with gooey cheese. My favorite, shrimp and vegetables with bow tie pasta and a creamy basil garlic sauce. All around 5 grams of fat. 5. There's no stopping me now. Healthy Choice. Your green light to eat what you like.
What's the difference between Pillsbury cinnamon rolls and prepackaged? Wake up to Pillsbury cinnamon rolls.
Nothing compares.
At Uniroyal, in order to make a point about our new nail guard tires, we added a few to our test track. Nail guard tires, designed to seal 90% of tread punctures, instantly and permanently. Only from Uniroyal.
You can't control Mother Nature. Experts report that weather patterns are changing fast, making it harder for anyone to say, a flood can't happen to me. In fact, in the last few years, floods have hit all 50 states. Thousands of victims learned too late that homeowners insurance doesn't cover floods, but National Flood Insurance does. Even weather experts can't outsmart Mother Nature. So call your insurance agent, or for free information, call this number now.
As we said, we're going to take a closer look at how women are reacting to Monica Lewinsky. For one thing, more women than men think that Mr. Clinton should stay in office. It's interesting, the country has never even heard her voice, but we know so much about her. Here's ABC's Erin Hayes.
At the beginning,
January 21st, 1998.
she was little more than a rumor.
She did work at the White House, but was there a relationship between her and the president?
There is no improper relationship.
She was
That woman.
a mystery. But today, there is little left secret about her. Monica Lewinsky, in detailing her grand jury portrait of an unfaithful president, revealed much about herself as well. Not a pretty picture either. And many women, in light of the Starr report, find themselves reassessing Ms. Lewinsky.
What I learned was Ms. Lewinsky really pursued the president, and the president was interested.
I have a little sympathy for her, but since the report, I do not.
From an Atlanta trade show,
she's one of the most willing victims I've ever seen.
I feel like singing.
To a San Francisco children's music class.
I think she was pushing it to the limit to see how far she could take it.
Women's talk about Monica Lewinsky reveals little sympathy.
She sounds like a very immature, childish young woman.
She knew exactly what she was doing. Yeah. Like, hey, I'm having an affair with the president.
But then, after things started falling apart, she had a job search underway, and a very ambitious one. She wasn't satisfied with the job in the Pentagon. Apparently, Revlon didn't measure up to her expectations. You know, she had a big plan for herself.
But many say that makes them that much angrier with the president.
Because Monica Lewinsky's behavior strikes me as not only unacceptable in the workplace, but a sign of a troubled young woman.
Troubled enough, says editor Cynthia Tucker, that any sensible man would have sent her home, not invited her into his life. Tucker's newspaper is calling for the president's resignation.
We trust him to have extremely good judgment in very critical situations. And this was a situation in which he showed extremely poor judgment.
It wouldn't have been too much, I think, to behave for 4 years, 8 years, just to be presidential, just to be noble for a little while.
Indeed, many women feel deceived by the man once hailed as the feminist president, and disappointed that a young woman could acquire enough power to threaten a presidency using some of the oldest tricks in the book. Erin Hayes, ABC News, Atlanta.
When we come back, what 75 million American households have in common.
If you can do this, you can make wood beautiful with Minwax. And if you can do this, you can give wood lasting protection. Turning a house into a beautiful home is as easy as turning to Minwax.
Today, while Amanda Scott was with her students, someone else was negotiating with lenders about her mortgage. At noon, she was keeping order on the playground instead of meeting with a home inspector. At 3, she met with Annie Chung's parents instead of reviewing closing costs with her attorney. And while Amanda was planning tomorrow's lesson, someone else was tying up loose ends at her new home. You've got a life. We let you live it. We're realtors. Real estate is our life.
The all-new Mitsubishi Galant. Totally new styling, nicely equipped at $17,990.
Now at Boston Market, home of the chicken America loves, you can start earning up to $100 off your TWA travel, courtesy of Boston Market and Coca-Cola. So come in today and start earning great savings on your next vacation. Only at Boston Market.
The new 2020, now on 3 nights. Tonight, could one punch land you in jail for 25 years? It happened to this man.
My life is ruined.
Hugh Downs, Barbara Walters, 2020, tonight.
Finally this evening, for just a minute or two, some relief from you-know-what. We thought about this first for Labor Day weekend, but you-know-what intervened. However, as best we can tell, the Congress will not deliver its next avalanche of grand jury material until Monday at the earliest, and the weather looks to be pretty good in most places, and of course the Miss America pageant doesn't start until after dark. So there is time to get out in the garden and live again that great American cultural experience. According to the latest surveys, many of us cook all year round on the barbecue now, so the end of summer is meaningless. We actually barbecue more than ever. This is how it looked in the 1950s when America headed for the backyard in large numbers. The country was booming, and at the Weber Brothers Sheet Metal Company outside Chicago, they decided to cut a buoy in half. The Kettle Barbecue was born.
Leisure was the crucible. If you had leisure time, you were cool, you were well-to-do, you were a great person.
That original kettle, mass-produced, sold for $29.95. How times have changed. Today, Frank McClelland in Boston has a monument to barbecue in his garden.
This is a lot more substantial, and you can really put on a, so to speak, a party with something this large.
Today, barbecue is just about as high-tech as anyone would want. You can spend several $1,000s.
Do people buy a barbecue for life?
I suspect there are a whole lot of people who do buy barbecues as a fashion statement because I've seen them coming out in different colors.
Molly O'Neill is the food writer for the New York Times.
Now, I have a black, and I will always stick by my black, but I've seen red ones and blue ones, and I suppose it could become part of your decor.
James Shelby is something of a purist.
This thing is a good maybe 10, 15 years old.
More people use gas grills now, but Mr. Shelby prefers charcoal. Surprisingly, it was Henry Ford who helped invent the briquette. Mr. Ford had a reputation as a thrifty man.
He was sitting around trying to figure out what to do with scrap lumber that he had left over from forms that they used to build Model Ts. And he came up with the idea that maybe he could make charcoal out of it. In the early days, you could only get charcoal briquettes at Ford dealerships.
Mr. Ford started America's largest manufacturer of charcoal and called it after a relative, Mr. Kingsford. Today, briquettes are a mixture of wood waste, coal, and starch. And last year, Americans burned 888,000 tons of briquettes.
Where do you stand on gas versus charcoal?
I don't see why bother with gas. To me, it's not barbecue, it's grilling. You don't get that sense of wildness and
you don't get dirty.
Smoke. And you don't get dirty.
Whatever kind of fuel you use, the Environmental Protection Agency says that backyard barbecues have a marginal impact on the environment, and the EPA has no intention of regulating them. So have a nice weekend, you men especially. It is a man's moment, mostly. Sometimes it's the only way we know how to cook. And that is our report on World News Tonight. Don't forget 2020 Friday. A town has found a unique way to battle baldness. On Nightline, an airplane pilot convicted for flying drunk flies again. And on Monday, with the videotape of the president's testimony and other evidence coming out, we are going to have a special 1-hour World News Tonight to accommodate it. I'm Peter Jennings. We hope you have a nice, quiet weekend. Good night.
Monday, a big news day. The president's testimony on tape. ABC News puts it all in perspective in a special 1-hour edition of World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source. ABC News, now always on.
ABC Saturday is a night of glamour. Jim Carrey, Kim Basinger, and Will Smith tell Barbara what you want to know.
People won't believe this. They'll think you're putting me on.
The Barbara Walters Special. Then, Here We Go. The one, the only, the Miss America pageant. Live after Barbara Walters, ABC Saturday.
This is News 2 at 6.
I saw people hanging out in the building on the 4th floor, and I've never seen anything like that before.
Nearly 300 college students are homeless tonight after fire destroyed